I was standing near the bridal table at my own daughter's wedding when the coordinator touched my arm. "Excuse me, ma'am. This area is for immediate family only. You'll need to return to your table." I froze. My daughter Lily was 10 feet away. She heard every word. She didn't even look up. The guests around us whispered. Someone stared. That's when I realized. My own daughter was pretending I didn't exist. My name is Hannah. I'm 52 years old. I've worked in hospitality management for over 20 years. Long hours, missed recitals, missed bedtimes. But I always provided for my daughter. Always. I got divorced when Lily was 8. Her father, Todd, remarried into wealth a few years later. He became the fun parent, the one who took her to Paris, the one who bought her a car when she turned 16. I was the one who paid for her braces, her college tuition, her first apartment deposit. I wasn't flashy. I drove an old sedan. I didn't vacation in Europe or wear designer labels. I lived modestly, saved carefully, invested quietly. But I was smart with money. Years ago, I bought a small event property as a retirement plan. It took everything I had, but it paid off. I raised Lily alone. I showed up, even when she started pulling away in her 20s, even when she stopped calling as much, even when the Instagram posts with Todd's family became more frequent than our dinners together. I wasn't the kind of mom who got tagged in her posts or invited to brunch with her future in-laws, but I thought that on her wedding day, I'd at least be treated like her mother. I was wrong. If you've ever been pushed aside by your own family, hit subscribe right now and tell me where you're watching from. 3 months before the wedding, Lily called me. "Mom, Derek's parents want to help plan the wedding. They have experience with this kind of thing." This kind of thing. Expensive, elegant events. The kind I supposedly didn't understand. I swallowed the sting. "I'd love to contribute," I said. "Whatever you need. Don't worry about it. We've got it covered." We. Not me. Them. I wasn't included in dress shopping. I wasn't invited to venue tours or menu tastings. When I asked, Lily said she was too busy or keeping it small. Then the wedding invitation arrived in the mail, like I was a distant cousin. No personal note, no call. I tried to talk to her. "Sweetheart, I feel like I'm being shut out." Her voice went cold. "Mom, not everything is about you. This is my day. Can you just not make it difficult?" That hurt more than anything Todd ever said to me, and Todd said plenty. He sent me a text a week before the wedding. "Lily's finally getting the wedding she deserves. Glad she has people who can give her that." I didn't respond. The day of the wedding, I arrived at the venue early. It was beautiful. A sprawling estate with gardens and a stone fountain. String lights everywhere. Elegant and expensive. I was handed a name card at the entrance. Table 18, in the back corner, with people I'd never met. Todd and his new wife were at table 3, right near the bridal party. During cocktail hour, someone introduced Derek's mother, Vivian, as the woman who made this day possible. I stood alone with a glass of champagne. I watched my daughter glow in a dress I never got to see her try on. And then, Lily walked past me, arm in arm with Vivian. She didn't say a word, didn't even glance my way. The photographer started calling people for portraits after the ceremony. Immediate family with the bride. Todd stepped forward, his wife, Derek's parents. I started to move toward the group. Lily's maid of honor touched my arm gently. "Sorry, they're doing a specific list right now. They'll call you if they need you." I waited. They never called. I stood to the side and watched Vivian stand exactly where the mother of the bride should be. A guest nearby whispered to her friend, "Who's that woman? The sad-looking one?" I turned away before I could hear the answer. At dinner, Todd stood to give a toast. He raised his glass. I want to thank everyone who believed in Lily and gave her the life she deserved. He looked directly at his wife when he said it, not at me. Then Vivian stood. When Derek brought Lily into our lives, I knew she was the daughter I'd always wanted. I'm so proud to stand beside her today. No mention of me. Nothing. The people at my table turned to me. So how do you know the bride? I set down my fork. I'm her mother. One woman looked confused. Oh, I thought that was her mom. She pointed at Vivian. I excused myself. I stepped outside into the courtyard to breathe. The air was cool. The music from inside was muffled. I heard voices near the garden fountain. Lily. Derek. Vivian. I stopped. Your mom seems quiet, Derek said. Is she okay? Lily's voice was dismissive. She's fine. I just didn't want her involved in the planning. She doesn't really understand how these things work. Vivian laughed softly. You did the right thing, sweetheart. Some people just don't have the polish for events like this. Lily laughed too. She didn't defend me. My chest tightened, but I didn't cry. Something shifted inside me. I realized I was done trying to earn my place. I was done being invisible. And then I remembered something they didn't know. This venue, this perfect estate Lily chose for her wedding. It was mine. What none of them knew, what I'd never bothered to mention, was that this entire estate belonged to me. 8 years ago, a property investor friend told me about a struggling venue going up for sale. I used my savings and took out a small loan. I bought it, renovated it slowly, turned it into something beautiful. I rented it out for weddings and corporate events. It became a steady income, a retirement cushion. My quiet success. I kept it under an LLC, managed it through a local events company. When Lily called me months ago and said she'd found the perfect venue, I looked at the name and almost laughed. I thought about telling her, but I wanted to see if she'd ask about my life, my work, my dreams. She never did. I approved the booking through my manager, paid for half the upgrades anonymously, the floral arch, the chandelier lighting, the fountain feature, all gifts. She just didn't know they were from me. I told myself I'd let her have her day, but watching them erase me like I'd never mattered, that changed things. During dinner, Garrett, the venue manager, approached me discreetly. Ms. Hannah, there's a situation. The father of the bride tried to add another hour to the contract and demanded we waive the fee. He's not pleasant. I smiled slightly. Let me handle it. Garrett nodded. He knew I was the owner. He'd kept it quiet per my request. Meanwhile, Todd was at the bar with Derek's father, talking loud enough for half the room to hear. I made sure Lily didn't end up like her mother. She deserves better than that. Vivian cornered the wedding planner near the cake table, making last-minute demands, snapping at the staff. Lily just went along with it, never questioning, never stopping them. I stepped into the venue's private office, my office. I pulled out the contract, the deed, the emails. My lawyer, Claudia, was on standby. I called her. Say the word, Hannah. You've been more than generous. I took a breath. I'm not going to ruin her wedding, but I'm not going to be invisible anymore. Near the end of the reception, Todd walked up to me. He smirked. You can leave early if you want. No one will notice. He walked away. That's when I decided. Enough. As the reception wound down, Todd tried to move the after-party to the venue's private terrace. It was an expensive add-on, one he hadn't paid for. Garrett approached him politely. Sir, the terrace requires owner approval and an additional fee. Todd scoffed. Just open it. We're good for it. Do you know who I am? Garrett stayed calm. I'll need to check with the owner. Todd rolled his eyes. Then get them on the phone. Garrett looked at me. I was standing a few feet away. I stepped forward. You're talking to her. Todd laughed. What? I kept my voice calm, clear. I own this venue, Todd. I have for 8 years. Silence spread through the room. Lily turned, her face confused. Mom, what are you talking about? I bought this estate when you were in college. I renovated it. I've been running it as an investment. You booked my property without even knowing it. Vivian's face twisted. If that's true, why didn't you say something? I looked at her, then at Lily. Because I wanted to see if my daughter would treat me like her mother without needing a reason to impress me. I got my answer. I held up the contract Lily had signed months ago. It listed the LLC I owned. Garrett stepped forward. Ms. Hannah has been the owner since 2016. She approved your booking personally. Lily's face went pale. You let me plan my wedding here and didn't tell me? I also paid for half your upgrades. The floral arch, the chandelier lighting, the fountain feature. Those were gifts. You just didn't know they were from me. Lily stammered. I didn't know. You didn't ask. You didn't include me. You let them treat me like I was no one. Todd tried to recover. This is ridiculous, Hannah. You're making a scene. I looked him in the eye. No, Todd. I'm just reminding you that I've never needed you to make something of myself. I did it on my own. I turned to Lily. My voice softened. I love you. I always will. But I won't be erased. Not even for you. I walked toward the exit. Lily called after me. Mom, wait. I didn't turn around. Days later, Lily showed up at my house. She was crying. Mom, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I wanted to fit in with them. I wanted to be different. I let her in, but I didn't rush to comfort her. You made me feel like I wasn't good enough, Lily. Like everything I did to raise you didn't matter. She sobbed. It did. It does. I was so wrong. I didn't forgive her right away. I told her I needed time, but I saw something different in her eyes. She was finally looking at me, really seeing me. Over the following weeks, Lily started showing up. She helped at the venue, asked questions about my life, my work. We started rebuilding trust. Slowly, Todd and Vivian faded into the background, their smugness replaced by awkward silence at family events. I didn't need to own a venue to prove my worth. But watching my daughter realize she'd underestimated me her whole life, that was the real victory. For once, their silence didn't hurt me. It freed me. If you've ever had to stand up to your own family and show them who you really are, hit that subscribe button and tell me your story in the comments. Where are you watching from? I read every single one. And if you've ever felt invisible to the people who should love you most, you're not alone. Drop your story below. Let's remind each other we're worth more than their approval.